Hello friends, welcome to our channel Let's Date Accountancy. And if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Hit the bell icon to get the notification of all the new videos and live sessions. Do check out our website www.letsdate.com for many more accountancy courses which are available at affordable prices. So let's begin with today's session. In our previous session, we learned some basic accounting terminologies like capital, proprietor, fixed assets, goods, expenses, purchases, sales, creditor, debtor, and what are the transactions. If you haven't seen that session, then do check it out to make your fundamentals strong. Now in this session, we are going to discuss few more terminologies frequently used in accountancy. So let's begin with this session. First is books of accounts. So books of accounts are the records or books in which financial transactions of the entity are recorded and maintained. And this recording of a transaction or event in the books of account is known as an entry. Next, we had also discussed in last session what are purchases and sales. So now can you guess what would be the meaning of purchase return and sales return? Say Peter ordered the goods but the goods received by him were defective, or say they were not as per the samples. Then what Peter will do? Definitely he will return those goods to the supplier. This is known as purchase return or return outward. Similarly, if the goods sold are returned by the customers due to any reason, it will be termed as sales return or return inwards. Okay, now friends, what would be the main aim of starting any business? It will be earning profits, right? So when Peter sells groceries and when his revenue exceeds total expenses, then we can say Peter's business is making or earning profits. Thus, profit means income earned by the business from its operating activities, that is, activities carried out by the enterprise to earn profit. And when the profits arises from the transactions which are not the operating activities of the business, that is something other than day-to-day earnings, then that would be termed as gains, which are irregular or non-recurring in nature, like gain on sale of land, machinery or investments. Now what if the expenses over a period exceed the revenue of the business? We would say that the business is suffering from loss. It is a broad term which includes loss incurred due to operating activities or money's worth lost against which no benefit is received, like loss by accident or theft, and also includes loss arising from non-recurring events like loss on sale of fixed assets. Friends, we hope you have clearly understood what are profits, gains and losses. Now let's discuss some more terms so that at further level you all will be well versed with different words used in accountancy. The term is discount. This we all would know, it is the reduction in the price of the goods. The discount allowed is of two types. First is trade discount. It is a reduction in the price by the seller to the purchaser when the goods bought are of certain quantity or value. So sales and purchases are recorded at net value, that is after deducting the trade discount. And remember, the trade discount is never recorded in the books. Friends, this is very important and we will learn more about this in further topics. Next is cash discount. It is a discount allowed by the seller for timely or early payment of due amount by the buyer. This discount is recorded in the books of both the parties. Next is rebate. This is also the reduction in the price allowed by the seller after the goods have been sold for the reason other than for which the trade discount is allowed. For example, discount allowed for poor quality of goods. Now next one is receipts. This is very simple. It is the amount received or receivable for selling assets, goods or services. It is further classified as revenue receipt and capital receipt. When Peter sells groceries and the amount which he receives is known as revenue receipt. So revenue receipts are one received or receivable in normal course of business against sale of goods or rendering of service or interest received on investment, etc. Friends, now if Peter sells his fixed assets, say he sold his old furniture, then will that be considered as revenue receipt? The answer is no, it will be a capital receipt. So the amount received or receivable against transactions which are not revenue in nature are known as capital receipts. After the end of each accounting period, the owner would like to know what is the financial position of his business, correct? This is depicted by the balance sheet, which is a statement as on particular date that exhibits assets, liabilities, and capital at their respective book value. So now what do you mean by book value? It is the amount at which an item appears in the books of accounts or financial statement. Now one of the most important term is asset. In very simple terms, assets are the properties owned by the enterprise. They are the economic resources which will enable the firm to get economic benefits in future. Examples of assets include machinery, buildings, stock, debtors, cash and bank balance, copyrights, etc. In previous session, we have already discussed what are fixed assets, that is assets which gives benefit for long term. It helps in business functioning and are not meant for resale. These fixed assets are further classified into tangible and intangible assets. Tangible assets are those which have physical existence and can be seen or touched like machinery, computer, building, etc. Whereas intangible assets are those which do not have any physical existence and cannot be seen or touched. For example, goodwill, patents, computer software, etc. Another type of asset is current assets, which are held in the business for the operating year and can be converted into cash very easily. For example, debtors, stock, etc. Another type of asset is fictitious assets, which are neither tangible nor intangible. They are losses not written off in the year in which they are incurred but in more than one accounting period, like heavy advertisement expenses or loss on issue of debenture in case of companies. Friends, gradually as we move ahead, you all will get more depth knowledge of these terms. So now next term is liability, which is just an opposite of assets. Liabilities are amount payable by the business to the others for the benefit received by the business. For example, loan taken, amount payable to creditors, bank overdraft, expenses payable, etc. The liabilities can be classified into non-current liabilities and current liabilities. So non-current liabilities are payable after a period of more than a year from the end of accounting period, like long-term loans, and current liabilities that are payable within 12 months from the end of accounting period, like short-term loans, creditors, etc. Now let's understand what does solvent and insolvent means. In any business, sometimes the payment is received from the parties on time and sometimes the payments are not received from some parties or it's become irrecoverable. So solvent is a person or enterprise which is in position to pay its debts. That is, their assets are more than their liabilities. On the other hand, insolvent is a person or enterprise which is not in a position to pay its debts where liabilities are more than their assets. And when the amount owed to the business becomes irrecoverable and it becomes a loss for the enterprise which is written off is known as bad debts. Moving further, let's discuss what does stock or inventory means. Now Peter is dealing in groceries, so there will be some goods remaining unsold at the end of the year, right? These are held for the purpose of resale, which is known as stock or inventory. The stock in hand at the end of accounting period is known as closing stock, and stock in hand at the beginning of the accounting period, that is stock at the end of previous accounting year brought forwarded in current year, is known as opening stock. The stock can be of following kinds. It can be stock of goods remaining unsold for trading concern. For manufacturing concern, it can be stock of finished goods manufactured for sale. Or the stock can be of raw materials to be used for manufacture of goods but not yet utilized, or it can be work in progress stock, that is the stock that is in process of being finished. We hope all the terms till here are quite clear to you all. Moving forward, firstly, can you recollect what is capital? Yes, the money brought in by the owner in the business is capital. Similarly, for meeting the personal expenses, the owner will withdraw money from business, and that is known as drawings. Also, Peter's business was of grocery, and if Peter takes out some grocery from the business for personal use, then that will also be termed as drawings. So basically, drawing is the amount withdrawn or goods taken by the proprietor or owner for personal use. One more type of liability is contingent liability. Now this is a liability which may or may not arise in future depending on happening or non-happening of certain event. For example, if a customer files a case in the court and makes a claim for compensation against the business where the decision is pending, this is known as contingent liability, as this liability to pay claim may or may not arise in future depending upon court's verdict. Since this is not confirmed liability, it is not shown in the balance sheet, rather shown as footnote to the balance sheet simply as information. So friends, that's all for today and we hope you all like this session. Do share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from us. So see you in the next session. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.